Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amata. Today is the 16th of May and this time I'm bringing you some news regarding the PlayStation 4 as we have yet more sales figures for the device coming from MPD. And they announced today that the PS4 was the best-selling individual hardware platform at US retail during April, and that makes it the fourth month in a row of success for the PlayStation 4. Now, although Sony didn't release specific sales figures, unfortunately, as much as I'd love to say that they gave us like a really detailed breakdown or whatever, they haven't at the moment. They might later, of course. They do know that the PlayStation 4 has sold over 115,000 units, because that's how many Xbox Ones that Microsoft has sold. So obviously they had to have sold more than that for them to be the best-selling console. So we don't know how much more than that, but we do know. And this is obviously within the month of April. Now, although of course the Xbox One is still a smidge behind the PlayStation 4 at this time, Microsoft did have something to be happy about this month, as they did sell 71,000 Xbox 360 consoles, 447,000 Xbox One games, and 2.2 million Xbox 360 games. So that's rather impressive, especially the Xbox 360. I'm sure there are many people out there who are just kind of waiting for that. Oh my god, I need that game for them to get the next gen console. And I'm sure quite a few people now are waiting for the release of the connectless Xbox One, of course, as it's a little bit cheaper. Now, the MPD also did say that the Xbox One is pretty much selling well, and even the Wii U is not doing that badly software-wise. And the MPD analyst Liam Callahan, who you should be familiar with by now, said, quote, "Life to date, sales of PS4 and Xbox One hardware have more than doubled the combined sales of PlayStation 3 and 360 hardware through their first 6 months of sales. PS4 software combined with Xbox One software sales are up over 40% compared to sales of the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 through their first 6 months. Wii U software sales were up over last year by over 80%. And as well as taking home the best-selling hardware victory, I suppose, Sony also got the top-selling next-gen software with infamous Second Son. Now, you're probably wondering, but what about Titanfall? That did really well, didn't it? Yes, it did, but that may not count because it's a multi-platform. It's, of course, on PC as well as the Xbox One and, of course, now on Xbox 360. But it still would be nice to get a direct comparison of the sales figures of Infamous and Titanfall. Hopefully I can hunt up those sales figures for you. It's really hard to actually find this information. I've got a rough guesstimate, but it doesn't really seem fair as it's kind of a different time period. But we had 700,000 units sold for Titanfall in the launch period, and for Infamous Second Son, it did exceed 1 million units sold, but that is in the first 9 days of launch. So we don't know how long the period for 700,000 was, so make of it what you will, basically. I don't really want to speculate when I can't get a direct comparison, but that gives you at least a rough idea. Now, of course, PS4 supply is still not amazing. Sony did say that the demand still continues to outstrip their supply, and they're working hard to, of course, provide additional inventory. Now, to finish up this video, we have total industry sales climbing 17% year on year to $580.3 million. And that's up 76% year on year at 192.8 million. Software sales were down, however, 10% year on year to $227.9 million, but accessories did jump to 21% year on year to $159.7 million. And yes, it is a little bit of a tongue twister to pronounce those numbers, but hey ho, there you go. So, that's your latest sales figures for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Of course, we don't have the direct sales figures from either Sony or Microsoft. This is from the MPD. Now, if either of them released a breakdown, I will of course do a more in-depth video, as I'd love to see a direct comparison. But what I think is going to be really interesting is, of course, when the connectless Xbox One is released next month. I think that is definitely going to give a nice boost to the Xbox One sales, and I think what has already been a very close race so far is going to become even closer, and we may even see the possibility for the Xbox One to overtake the PlayStation 4. Now, as I've said many times in the past, good competition is better for us, better for the industry, and better for innovation. So let's just hope that we get a nice, tense race between the new consoles, and I think that Microsoft's decision, although it has ruffled a few feathers in the development camp, to go connectless will end up benefiting them in the long run. I really believe that it's going to give the Xbox One a nice boost. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.